Okay, so back by popular demand, we have someone who is going to give you social media trends for the international real estate professional. Welcome, John Mayfield, the real estate tech guy.
Thank you. Did you know there are over 100 billion searches every month on Google? That's a billion with a B. And believe it or not, there will be 7.5 million searches done while I make this statement. 7.5 million searches done. It's an amazing world we live in, and I want to talk to you a little bit about social media and the internet and how it's changing the way you and I as real estate professionals do business. First, I want to say thank you so much to Teresa and Linda and the Miami Association for allowing me to come back. I get to go to a lot of international conferences around the world, and I want to tell you what, this to me is one of the premier conferences, and you're very lucky and fortunate to have them, so let's give them a round of applause. So believe it or not, there is a really fascinating search that goes on at 1 a.m. in the morning. Would you like to find out what the most search item is at 1 a.m. in the morning? Let's take a look.
That is correct.
Good job, honey.
That it's orange. Sometimes it's like the moon.
It's like you see right through me and make it easier.
Congratulations. Oh my God, I got it!
Leave me, you don't even have to try. Oh, because you are the best thing. You are the best thing.
Taylor should be adopted by her stepmother.
Very cute video, and I wanted to show you that because, you know, at the end of the day, it's a changing world, and people are searching for things. We're in this connected world today that it's a disrupted world, and you know, we ask the question, is it disrupted? But then we go back to the turn of the century. Did the people who had the buggy and the horsewhips and when the automobile came out, was that disruption as well? But here's what I want you to think about today. People are searching for help. I mean, they're looking for answers. They're searching for help. And you and I as real estate professionals have a really awesome opportunity on how we can help people through this whole process. Now, whether you like Facebook or social media or not, it's a big deal. I mean, over 4 million likes every minute just on Facebook. I keep thinking Facebook's going away, but it's still a big player out there. So I want to talk about social media, but more specifically, I want to talk to you about strategy. Because I believe social media is really becoming more of a marketing tool, and I think that, and I'm including myself in this, and by the way, I'm a real estate broker. I run a real estate company. I used to love to say that I had a real estate license in Florida, and then everybody would look at me in Florida and say, yeah, you and 5 million other people. So, but I am a licensed broker in Florida. But I want you to think about social media as a strategy. because it should be. It's a marketing strategy. And sometimes I think we get to doing the same old thing and we expect different results, and that's not going to happen. So I want you to think about social media as I share with you some tools and some ideas as a map on how you can take your real estate career to the next level. Maybe your recipe is wrong. Maybe you need to change a little bit of, some of the ingredients to your social media. And so however you look at it, I want to hopefully give you a direction where you can have some success with social media. So we're going to talk about 4 broad areas, and I call these the 4 C's. Each area begins with the letter C, and the first one I want to talk about is create, okay? Now, create in a different format than what we're used to. I want you to think about or ask the question, are you listening? Are you listening to what people in Miami or Brazil or Serbia are searching for? Because we can find out or discover. Here's an interesting way to do that. Go to Google. And you've already seen this come up. It auto-populates search results for you, doesn't it? Did you notice what Teresa just went over with us? Statistics about your area. And look on this. When I typed in Miami real estate market, Miami real estate market 2019, market bubble, forecast for 2020. People want to know what's going on in the marketplace. But did you know, Slavisha, you could go to Serbia and you could type in Chicago real estate and you could find out, because he and I are good friends and he was talking about Serbia's a big population in Chicago, you could find out what people in Serbia are really searching for when they go to Google and keywords. So you can, here's RPR, which is a really cool report. And I know a gentleman talked about it yesterday, I believe, or the day before. It's a free report that you have, but you can find out, this is the 33140 zip code, and you can create data and tools like that. Last year, I showed you this really cool tool. It's called Flip Builder. I've been doing this with RPR. You take a PDF file and it creates it into a digital magazine, and you can put that on your website. So ask yourself, are you listening? YouTube is the second most searched, it's the second most used website for a search engine. I saw a gentleman from YouTube, and he said there's 10 years of content uploaded every day to YouTube. 10 years. What he was saying is it would take you 10 years to watch all of the videos that are just uploaded today on YouTube. It's mind-boggling. But we're searching, aren't we? I flew into Miami, and I've had some allergies, and my ears got all plugged up, and it was painful. So what did I do this morning from my hotel room? And I used Siri. Hey Siri, how can I keep my ears from plugging up from when flying? And there was all of these suggestions. But we're a world full of searching and answers. Now, the easiest way for you to do this is if you go to your web browser and you open up what's called an incognito window. That will allow you to really see what people are searching for. Otherwise, you might mix up some of your own search results. A lot of times we will do a search on our name, but if we're not in an incognito window, and that just means you're kind of going in disguised with no one knowing who you are, or Google doesn't know who you are, it will give you more accurate results. So just a little tidbit of information. But I want you to ask yourself, are you listening? Did you know Google has a free keyword planner tool that you can go? So you can go to Google, search for this keyword planner tool, and put in words like Miami real estate and the Miami real estate market, and Google will give you other suggestions that work very well. There's also another tool that you can use, and this right here is called WordStream. All of these have tools that will help you understand what consumers are doing. Now, here's something. Has anybody used Facebook's Creator Studio? Anybody in here? So a couple of you have. It's an amazing tool. It's free, and you log in and it will allow you to look at all of your pages and your personal account, and then it will show you what posts are doing as far as how many people viewed it, how many people liked it. It gives you all kinds of interesting data. So, and by the way, Facebook owns Instagram, so they have the same tool there. But here's what's interesting. If Linda is posting information about Miami Realtors International, she could go on Facebook Creator Studio, look at all of her posts for the last 30 days, and she might begin to see things that are getting more traction, more likes, more views, and she could then begin to make a decision that I need to post more content like this because that's what people tend to like. So, two very cool tools. They're free. I encourage you to look at them. But again, it's about strategy. We've got to really begin to look at strategy. Now, how many of you are posting videos on YouTube? And remember, it's the second most, okay, good. Second most used site as a search engine. It's funny, my wife bought a doorknob for our pantry door where we put the canned goods, and it sat there for quite a while. And I kept saying, I'm not a handyman. I can help you with any computer technology needs you need. And she's like, I wish you would put that doorknob on. So she went shopping. And I thought, I'm going to put the doorknob on. Where did I go? YouTube. How do you put a doorknob on a door? And I watched a video, and this guy says you put a screwdriver in the side there, and you pop this thing out. And I put a doorknob on all by myself. I then fixed the dishwasher, fixed a light. I've become a handyman around the house. Now, I don't know how to do any of this, but if you go to YouTube, you can find that information. Now, you said you're posting videos on YouTube. I don't know if you're doing this or not, but how can you be found on YouTube? There's a couple of key things you need to think about. First of all, you need a clever title, something that's interesting. Like, do you know what's really going on in the Miami real estate market? Tease them a little bit. Get them interested in your video. And then you want to put that same title right in the top line of the description. Then you want to send them to some of your other websites. So if someone's watching your video, you may also want to send them to your website, to your Instagram, to your Facebook. So you have this whole big area of description that you should use to remarket your other services or other types of listings you have or properties, maybe a link to another video. The second thing you need to do is make sure you add what are called tags. There's an area called tags. Now, I don't want to get too techie with you, but I want you to understand this. YouTube, I said, is the second most used website as a search engine. So if someone's searching Miami real estate for sale, Miami condos, you might even want to put Miami for rent, properties for rent, and then direct them to a video that says, why rent when you can own your own real estate? YouTube will look at these tags, and if those tags are in there, it will then populate your video so it will be found. And a lot of people fail to remember that they can make those tags work for them. I've been using this formula, and I've been studying because I have an online real estate school, and I'm in 5 states, and I'm trying to compete with these big national companies. But I'm telling you what, my YouTube channel has grown by leaps and bounds just by integrating a few of these little tools. And here's where if I was putting all of my chips on social media, I think YouTube's where it's at. I think it's the future. TV, video, it's going there. So again, when you upload a video, you just want to edit the video, you want to add the information, and then you want to make sure that you've used the keyword planner tool and some of those other tools I've showed you. And now you're beginning to target the right people when you're doing social media. Now, I want to show you one of my favorite tools. I make no money off the tools I'm showing you. I use this tool every day. It's like $35 US. It's called Text Expander. And the way Text Expander works is I type a letter and I give it a little keyword here. Like for YouTube tags, I type YU2 and it puts all of my tags in for me. I don't have to type it over and over. I'm on the same MLS you are, the Matrix, CoreLogic. Someone wants information about a property and I go into the MLS to send that to them. When I pull up the MLS to do the email, I just have a little tag for buyers. I put the 2 or 3 letters and it puts all of the information right in the email for me. So I don't have to type it over and over. I can say thank you. I have one of these for DocuSign when I'm sending a contract to someone for their electronic signatures. I want to have a statement that says, if you have problems with this, please call me on my cell phone. It is an amazing tool. It will save you hours and hours and hours. So if you type something over and over and over, type it one time and then give it a secret code. And now when I go to YouTube, I have a secret code. It puts all of that information here. And then when I go to tags, I do YU2 and it puts all of those tags there. So I'm not typing it over and over. I'm just being able to save some time there. So Create was our first one. I want you to think about and write down. John says I've got to create content that's more targeted to my audience. I think that's key. Number 2, creative. This is the second C. And I want you to be different. You know, I talked about that last year. I talked about being a red leather chair and being different. I was at Inman Connect and the guy from Facebook was there and he said, whether you like Facebook Live or not, it gets 5 times to 10 times more viewer than just normal post. I did a post not too long ago. I was in Mexico City getting ready to go on and I did a quick Facebook Live and I said, I'm getting ready to speak here in Mexico City and I was going to be speaking in the round and it was a very interesting setup and I noticed a couple of days later Facebook said, that post is getting more traction than any of your other posts. So I know we don't want to do Facebook Live, but it's very big. This is a Facebook Live I did when I launched my real estate school, and it was huge for me. So I played this, my friend Jose did this for me in Spanish, so I'm going to just play it in Spanish. Many of you probably will know what he's saying. And if you don't, I'll recap in a nutshell, or I'll let someone else recap for me.
Hola, ¿qué tal amigos tiburones de aquí de la Ciudad de México? Bueno, pues una de las herramientas esenciales para poder atraer clientes es hacer lo que es Facebook Live, ¿verdad? Los últimos 3, 4 años se ha implementado y ahora es más esencial cuando a lo mejor quieres enseñar una propiedad o estar con un cliente o nada más cuando ya realmente haces tu cierre, ¿verdad? Estás trabajando y por favor es la única herramienta donde tú puedes conectarte con las personas cercas y esas personas que van a conectar a otras personas, ¿verdad? Recuerden, Facebook Live es lo más hito para que ahorita tú puedas atraer más clientes y más personas.
So Jose does a lot of Facebook Live. He's very popular in Dallas, Texas, and he basically says you should do Facebook Live. Just have fun with it. He does it at closings, and it's just a great way for you to build traction. I showed you this last year, but I wanted to include it again. A lot of the things I'm going to show you today are very different from last year, but I don't know if you remember this. This is for the Apple iOS, but I thought it was interesting. The man from Facebook was telling us that live video does 10 times more than static post. But he said, if you really want your videos to go off the chart, you need to have subtitles with it. Because he said, the young generation, and I'm not young, but I do this as well, we're multitasking. We're looking at Facebook. We have the audio turned off. And for some reason, if we see a video that has subtitles, we get very fascinated. Now, I recorded this in Helsinki, Finland, in a very busy hotel. So when you record the video, it adds the subtitles. Hi, it's John Mayfield. I'm using a very cool app called Clips that actually will take my voice and convert it to text. It only missed one word, I think, but I'm telling you what, when you do these types of videos and I track the viewership, it's amazing the difference that it does. So there you can do the video with one app and it will actually add the subtitles for you. Now, if you're an Android user, I found this, or if you do other videos, and I love this tool. I use it every day practically. It's called iSky Soft. And with iSky Soft, it will actually go in and you can tell it to add subtitles. So it will take the voice and add subtitles as well. So if you're an Android user, or if you just want to convert any existing videos off of other video, iSky Soft is very interesting. But be creative. I use this app. This is called Filmic Pro. I love this app. It's for Android or Apple. It does some amazing things, and there are young kids that are actually making movies that they're broadcasting at Sundance Film Festival. But here's how Filmic Pro works. It's an amazing app. It's like $9, but you can do some really cool things with it. And they're making literally movies off this app today. The other thing they're using, and I just purchased this I bought from Amazon. These are 2 wireless microphones. They work with your smartphone, or they work with a regular camera. And so now I can go out in the field, do interviews with people. You know, to me, if you're going to do video, you have to have good quality audio. But this is a wireless microphone, and this is a company called BeastGrip. So I can literally put my iPhone in this, put this on a tripod, have all kinds of accessories attached to it, and now you can go do some creative videos. Now, here's what I want you to think about. I realize there are sometimes you have a listing or a project that you need to have a professional photographer go do the video and do all of the photography. I'm not bypassing that. What I'm trying to say is, as you do video for yourself, for social media, you need to be able to have some really good tools that you can do some quality videos that will get noticed on Instagram, Facebook, and so forth. So those are some really cool tools. This is a brand new website. I just subscribed to this. It's called Placeit.net, and they have thousands upon thousands of Instagram post ideas, videos. If you want to do an opening to a video or a closing to a video that you're producing, this is a little video I created in less than 10 minutes on this platform. All I did was uploaded a picture, changed some text, and picked out some music, and within 10 minutes I had this little video done. Now, my daughter said they don't like it. They said, Dad, it's kind of scary. It creeps you out at the beginning because it's so. And so I'm listening to my millennial children to find out. But I just wanted you to see, if you were going to have that at the beginning of your YouTube videos, what a great way to be able to produce something and then have that at the beginning, and you can create an ending. But I'm creating some amazing things off of that site called Placeit.net. And don't forget Fiverr. How many of you use Fiverr? I've been using Fiverr a lot recently. I've got a TV channel I'm doing called Help Me Pass the Real Estate Exam, and just have done some really cool things there. I'm doing a lot of green screen stuff. This is a video I did, but imagine taking that RPR information and doing a monthly recap of the Miami real estate market by using a green screen. You got to be different. I mean, if you're doing the same thing everybody else is doing, you will not get noticed. This is my 42nd year in real estate. I got my license when I was 18. And my motto has always been, you need to take as much education as you can, which I have, and you have to be different. If everybody else was going this way, I wanted to go a different direction because I didn't want to be like everybody else. So be different. YouTube, again, I think YouTube's a huge place that you should hang out. If you have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube channel. I think I told you this story last year. I did a presentation in Sarasota at their international conference. After the conference, this lady came up to me and she said, I have somebody that you would be perfect for. And I looked at her and I said, well, I'm married. And she said, no, I'm sorry. I have somebody who has a television station here, and he's looking for someone, and you would be perfect for him. Now, this guy called me and flew my wife and I to Sarasota. I met him at the television station, ABC affiliate there, and I never will forget that, walking through his TV station, and he said to me, he said, John, stop, look around. And we looked around. He said, I have millions of dollars invested in this TV station. You can do this from your own living room today. And he was sharing with me kind of that, we had the danger report for real estate. Remember that? He was sharing me the danger report for television stations. People are not subscribing to cable anymore. I have two daughters, 30 and 29, Irish twins. Neither one of them subscribe to cable. I mean, they stream everything. I'm getting to where I don't watch cable. So YouTube's a big player. So this is one of my favorite tools. It's called Switcher Studio. Now, there's somebody in this room that could take this to a whole new level in Miami. I'm telling you what, nobody else is doing it that I know of. and you use Switcher Studio and have your own television channel on YouTube where you talk about the real estate market, you show properties that are for sale, you interview top figures in your board or loan officers or building inspectors. But here's how Switcher Studio works.
Mobile phones revolutionized the way we create and share video. And going live has never been easier. With the touch of a single button, you or anyone could go live from anywhere, right now.
But no matter where your audience watches it, live video made with a phone looks pretty boring. There's only one thing for them to look at, and there's nothing you can do with your live video either. What you see is what you get. See what I mean?
But with Switcher Studio, you can make your videos truly stand out above the rest.
Switcher gives you the power to easily brand your content. Start simple and add a professional logo to your next live video.
Step up your production value. Add full screen images and pre-recorded video from your camera roll.
Take complete control of your iOS camera's professional settings to achieve the best lighting and image quality for your live videos.
And why settle for just one camera angle? Switcher Studio gives you the power to expand your live video into a full-on multi-camera production.
You can connect up to 9 camera sources at once to give your viewers a full studio-grade viewing experience.
All you need are iPhones and iPads.
And with your Switcher Studio account, you'll have access to a dynamic online dashboard. When you connect your channels and pages online, they will sync with the app automatically.
And if it's your first time going live, Switcher Studio makes it super easy. And if you want to do more, we've got you covered with our extensive knowledge base and how-to videos.
And if you need help, dedicated support is included with your plan. Join the Switcher community and interact and engage with other creators.
With Switcher Studio, you can personalize your videos with our growing list of powerful features to engage your viewers and grow your audience. Start your trial today at switcherstudio.com.
So again, I don't make any money off any of these tools I show you, but I want you to understand Switcher Studio is amazing. I run my online real estate school on Thursday nights. We do live broadcasting and the students can watch. I'm actually broadcasting from the board, or I'm writing on my tablet PC, and you could do this as a real estate professional to have your own television channel. I'm treasurer this next year for Missouri Realtors. I want us as Missouri Realtors to have a live streaming broadcasting channel going with education, with things that are going on with the board. It's so easy to do today with YouTube that you can create your own channel. Now, find your passion, because that's how you find real estate clients. I was speaking in Northwest Arkansas, and I remember some of the people were talking to me, and one lady said, "I don't know what to do video about." And I said, "What do you like to do?" And she said, "Well, we love to fly fish. That's a big thing for our area." So I said, "You ought to do videos on where to fly fish in the area." She started producing some of these videos of what they have a passion for, and people started looking them up and doing business with them with real estate. So maybe you have a passion for cooking, maybe you have a passion for something else. Take that passion, integrate it into YouTube and your social media, and you will do business with real estate. Instagram, still a big deal. This is a friend of mine in St. Louis. She has over 43,000 followers. A lot of people are doing good with Instagram. So I talked about it some last year, but I still want to mention it. And this is a really cool site. Have you ever wanted to remove the background but keep something else in place? This is free. It's called remove.bg. So you can upload your picture and it will take the background right out. It's really cool. So I'm doing some of these for my school, and basically I took a whole bunch of pictures of me standing in different poses so that I can use these with my online school, and then all we did was remove the background and gave them names. But you can also use these on YouTube for your YouTube they call them thumbnail cards. And you've probably seen these people that have these different poses on YouTube. That's a great way for you to create those. It's remove.bg. Don't forget hashtags. People are searching. We're in this disrupted world, and it's just a whole different way of doing business today. I want you to watch this video because this is another part of social media, all this voice activated, but we've got to be thinking about this as real estate professionals.
So let's go back to this example. Let's say you want to ask Google to make you a haircut appointment on Tuesday between 10 and noon. What happens is the Google Assistant makes the call seamlessly in the background for you. So what you're going to hear is the Google Assistant actually calling a real salon to schedule the appointment for you. Let's listen.
So how can I help you?
Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd.
Sure, give me 1 second. Sure, what time are you looking for around?
At 12 p.m.
We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The closest we have to that is a 1:15.
Do you have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.?
Depending on what service she would like. What service is she looking for?
Just a woman's haircut for now.
Okay, we have a 10 o'clock.
10 a.m. is fine.
Okay, what's her first name?
The first name is Lisa.
Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Great. Have a great day. Bye.
So, can you imagine someone calling us up saying they'd like to look at a house and we have no idea if we're talking to a computer or not? But this is the world we live in. Amazon Echo. How many of you have a flash briefing on Amazon Echo? It probably needs to be something. Now, I don't know. Amazon's creeping a lot of people out because they think they're listening, and it may not be getting as much traction as we think, but I use that program called Sound Up Now, and what's interesting about Sound Up Now is that it actually will send everything to Amazon for me. And so I use Sound Up Now, and I have a podcast, and I send my podcast to Amazon. So if you ask for what's the real estate market news for Miami, you could hear your podcast, and you could hear some of that information there. Podbean, any podcasters in here? Okay, I'm telling you what, my numbers off podcasting are just amazing. And I'm going to show you a fairly recent statistic. This, and I don't know if you can read it in the back, this was just a few weeks ago. I had 128 downloads the day before, 905 for the last 7 days, 2,946 over a 30-day period. I've only been on podcasting for a little over 2 years. I've already had 41,000 people download. I'm telling you what, you will get in on the ground floor if you start a podcast in Miami about what's going on, about buying and selling in Miami. Podcasting is huge. People are using it on their phones. It's in your cars. I was at an event where a man was speaking, and I felt like I was one of the younger people in the room. It was our community had this really fascinating speaker that came, and there was a lot of older people there. He said, "Hey, I have a podcast. How many of you listen to podcasts?" And literally the whole room, their hands went up. So I think you need to really consider doing a podcast. Very important. Blogging is another part of social media. I know some of you may say, "I don't know if I want to blog or not." Remember, there were 100 billion searches last year. I cannot tell you how many speaking opportunities I have gotten because I wrote a blog. Someone read my blog and asked me to come speak at their organization. In fact, did you know Joanna Gaines from Fixer Upper? That's how she got her TV show. She had a blog, and somebody read her blog and pitch the TV idea to her. So 2 things I want you to think about when we talk about blogging, YouTube, all of these things. Google, when it goes to look for information, 2 things that it looks at: how often was your website updated and how many people visited your website. That's why you need to be doing these types of things, and that's why you need to put it on your website and send people to your website. Now, some of you may not like to type or write, but we can all talk. I have a lady in one of my real estate classes now who unfortunately can't talk. So I shouldn't say that. I've come to understand there are a lot of people with lots of disabilities out there, but Dictate Plus Connect is one of my favorite apps because I can dictate and it will stop when I stop talking, and then when I begin talking, it records again. So I use this app when I'm out walking, riding in my car, wherever I'm going, and I can write a blog. We all know things we should tell people about: tips to buy a home, tips to look for in your marketplace. So Dictate Plus Connect is a really cool app. I love it a lot. I showed this last year, but I use it all the time, Grammarly. So after I've dictated, I can run it through Grammarly and it'll check all of my grammar. And Grammarly also works in your email and on your smartphone. Very good. So we've got Twitter, Snapchat, but LinkedIn. And the last section I wanted to talk about was contacts. Remember, create, creative, contacts. I have one more after this, but it's very short. So let's talk about contacts. Always, according to the National Association of Realtors, do you know what the #1 thing people say how they found their real estate agent? It's always #1. Referral from a family member, friend, someone they work with. I got my master's degree from Realtor University a couple of years ago. I did my thesis paper on what are top real estate agents doing to generate income. Guess what I discovered in all my reviews and research? Their sphere of influence. We could talk about social media all we want and technology, but at the end of the day, you got to contact people you know. We can use social media to do that. And, social media, the really cool thing about it is perception is reality. Slavisha and I talked about that last night. You have to be systematic on how you promote things. If you're not promoting that you're at this event today or yesterday, you need to do that before you leave. Why? Because your other people and the board and your friends and coworkers and people you know are going to see that you're at this event, and what are they going to say? Oh, they're hanging out at international real estate conferences. So you can network digitally with your sphere of influence. I love Dale Carnegie when he said, we can win more friends in 2 weeks by showing them we're interested in them than we can in 2 years by trying to get them interested in us. So LinkedIn's a great way to do that. And this friend of mine, Jaime, down in Dallas, Jaime has this really cool thing he does. He took his sphere of influence and he uploaded it to Facebook as a custom audience. Then Jaime said he spends $1 a day. You don't want to spend too much, because if you spend too much, they'll get aggravated seeing you. But what does Jaime's sphere of influence see on Facebook periodically throughout the day when they get on Facebook? They see his posts that he's creating that are showing up for his sphere of influence. And he said, John, it's been an amazing tool for me, a marketing tool for me. So create a custom audience. You can also create a lookalike audience, and think about your reputation. One of the things we have to get better at, and I have to do much better at this, is trying to get testimonials. A testimonial tree is a great tool. Ron Phipps just sent me something, and it was from Signpost. But we've got to get people to give us testimonies. Very, very big and important. Email, I just quickly wanted to talk about with contacts. 300% open rate if you use video email. It's big. I use BombBomb. I kind of joined and went away and joined and went away, and now I'm back, and I love BombBomb. I use it all the time. I use it for my real estate school students. I answer questions when I'm in the car and so much more. And then Cultivate, I showed this one last year. I think it's still a cool app. When you meet somebody at a conference, you can put their name in Cultivate. It'll remind you when to get back in touch with them. Very, very important. And then just to wrap up, consistency is my final C. Repurpose your content. Have a Google alert for what's going on in Miami or your zip code or your country. You can take that content and repurpose that. Hootsuite's a great tool for that. And these are a couple of really cool tools if you want to find out what is getting traction for other people. And with your own, it's called Post Planner and Icon Square. But at the end of the day, you've really got to think about a strategy and planning. Have a checklist, I think is very good, but be consistent. I think that's very, very important. So in closing, remember, people are searching for information. They are. And they need help. There's 100 billion searches every month on Google. People need help. And you know what? You and I have this wonderful ability to give this gift, our knowledge. You know, I just sold my house this last January. It had been quite a while. Last year I told my blueberry story and some of that, but it had been quite a while since my wife and I'd sold our home. I want to tell you what, and I've been doing this 42 years, have been involved in thousands of transactions. I was a nervous wreck. You know, when you go through that yourself, it's a big deal. So we have this wonderful package we could share with people, but have a strategy for social media. I think that's so important, and I just encourage you to do that. If you follow that plan, I know you'll have success. Thank you so much.